Welcome back to the AD 1926 video series. I'm composer Nolan Stoltz, and we're going to head to Adrian, Texas today. Last episode we left off here on 6th Avenue in downtown Amarillo. We'll head west and stop by the Lyle Art Gallery, say hello to Bob, get back on the road, and our first stop is at the near ghost town of Soncy. I say near ghost town because those structures are no longer there, such as the school, but there are new structures there, but there isn't really a sense of Soncy as its own community. This is what Soncy looks like today. No schoolhouse, but apparently you could see ruins of it in 1994. And this is a view of Soncy from Route 66. As you can see, not very far off the road. Right back there. We're on Route 66, just west of Amarillo, Texas. And this was 66 from 1926 to the mid-50s, I believe. I think they started work in like 1949 or something like this on a new road to the south. And if I recall correctly, 1954 it was completed. But for a good, 30 years or so, 25 to 30 years, this was Route 66. And off to the left, you'll see Cadillac Ranch on the other side of I-40. So the first, 4 times I drove by here, I didn't even notice it. It's not something you'll really notice as you're driving. We'll continue west, head through bushland, nothing really from the 1926 era. Same thing with Will Dorado, at least along 66, but just to the north of it along Main Street, there's some older buildings such as this one. Next town up is Vega, and we're on South Main Street, and off to the right, you see this Magnolia station dating back to 1924. So this would have existed when 66 first came through. Also right here is the Oldham County Courthouse, predating 66 by 11 years. And then we'll keep going north on Main and turn left on Main. All 4 streets are Main, by the way, right here. And it heads through this residential neighborhood as it leaves town. Now notice this green house back here. In the garage behind it, in the back part of the garage, this is an Airbnb, and I stayed there, got some inspiration for Vacancy, No Vacancy, and for AD 1926. 66 heads west down Main Street, goes through this open field, so this is looking east to where we just were, and we end up in the ghost town of Ontario. This is the ghost town of Ontario, Texas. I believe this is about where the original 66 was. Looking east, 66 ran parallel to the railroad tracks. This is looking west down where 66 used to be. Ontario had a newspaper, the Ontario Banner. The Texas State Historical Association said that there was a hotel, general store, post office, some residences, and just to the north of 66 and the railroad tracks are these foundations. So I'm guessing this was something of Ontario. I don't know how long it lasted into the Route 66 era, but we do see it on this 1925 map. I'll have to check newspapers from that time and that area to see. I did read that the hotel that was there burned and some businesses moved to Vega around this time. The railroad station was active into the Route 66 era, as we see it on this 1929 timetable. Just west of there, you can see this culvert from the original alignment, and you can really see how far north it was from the newer 66. Just west of there is Landrigan. There's not much left from 1926 to 1937, that original alignment. Some sources say 66 originally came into Adrian, Texas, taking 5th Street here. Fewer sources say 4th Street, aka Oklahoma Street, which actually to me seems more likely, but just in case, we will take 5th Street. Up ahead used to be my favorite sign of all 66, but it seems to have gone missing. It says, "Art is what you can get away with." If 5th Street was indeed 66, it turned left here on Walnut Avenue. And here's another look at my favorite sign, looking down possible 66. On the right here is the old Giles Hotel, dating back to, I think, the 1890s. So some inspiration for AD 1926 and Vacancy, No Vacancy. Here's the old photo of this place. On the left is where 66 may have come into Adrian. Regardless, we are on original 66 now, Walnut Avenue, and we come up upon the second alignment, the 1937 and later, and we turn right on it and join it. Before we do so, let's take what may have been original 66, 4th Street. Behind us is a low water crossing, which is one indication, and the other indication, perhaps, is that that's where the Giles Hotel is at, 4th and Walnut. We approach Walnut Avenue and we see the old hotel. Perhaps this was the road that became 66. Not certain. Here's how it looks on the inside of the hotel. Pretty rough. Although to the right that may have been 66, we do know 66 went down Walnut, so for certain we'll turn left here and we'll be on original 66. I am living on a prayer. By that I'm halfway there. I'm between Chicago and LA at the midpoint. That's Adrian, Texas. We'll end there for part 49. Wow. Part 50 is next. For all videos, not just the AD 1926 ones, become a supporter of the Route 66 Suite Patreon at patreon.com/Route 66 Suite.